call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to move to amend the agenda and add the oath of office extension resolution.
Support. Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey. Fournier.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Okay. We will move on to roll call, please.
Oh,
Do you want to administer first, or do you want
yes,
to?
we have
Okay.
to before she can vote, so.
Oh, that's right. Okay. We will then.
Make a motion to
Okay,
adopt.
the second motion?
Even though it's already on. Okay.
I move to adopt the oath of office extension resolution.
Support. Anybody have any questions or comments? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Dempsey. Fournier.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Oh,
Oh,
I need to.
Okay.
That was
Okay. I really want the roll call. I
One more
really
thing
want
to
it.
do, so I need to swear in
Absolutely.
Commissioner Crop.
Nope.
So-
Commissioner
Fournier.
Fournier. Even though we have different last names, we only have the first name.
Okay, you're right, you're already sworn in. Okay, should I just do it? Can I
No,
do
I've got
Stand up here and
stand.
do it.
You guys want to? Yeah.
All right. Come on now, let's go. Come on. That's what you did. That's what I did.
That's right.
You're six, so we have to swear you in. Okay, so raise your right hand, please. I do solemnly swear. I do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of this state. And the Constitution of this state. And that I will faithfully perform the duties. And I will faithfully perform the duties. Of the office of City Commissioner. Of the office of City Commissioner. In and for the city of Mount Clemens. In and for the city of Mount Clemens. County of Macomb. County of Macomb. And state of Michigan. State of Michigan. According to the best of my ability, so help me God. According to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations. Okay, thank you. Now we can do roll call.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Here.
Dempsey. Fournier.
Here.
I know. Hammond.
Here.
Crap.
Here.
Menser.
Here.
Voorhees.
Here.
I'll entertain a motion to excuse Commissioner Dempsey.
I'll move, go ahead.
You go, you go.
I'll move that we excuse Commissioner Dempsey from this meeting.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to announcements, acknowledgements, communications, and reports. Do you have anything?
We have nothing.
Okay. Moving on to adoption of the agenda.
Mayor Crop, I move that we adopt the agenda as printed
And amended.
And amended.
And
or as
amended.
amended.
Support.
Okay, roll call, please.
Campbell.
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
Menser.
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
This is the portion of the meeting where we address the public where we invite the public to address the commission. If you would like to address the commission, we ask that you come to the microphone. We ask that you give us your first name, your address, and abide by our 3-minute rule. We also will invite those on Zoom to participate in public participation after we acknowledge those who are with us in person. Is there anyone who would like to address the commission? Not everybody at once.
Good evening. Michelle Weiss, 18200 Terra Drive, Clinton Township, Mount Clemens, DDA. I just want to remind everyone that this Friday is our Christmas open house. We will have our Santa passes for the audience at 5 p.m. at the Fountain Stage. Santa will arrive at 6 p.m. and will receive the key to the city, and also will sing some Christmas carols before he moves on to Pop Sweets and Treats, where he will be stationed with Mrs. Claus for the children to come and visit. We will have, Santa will arrive by horse-drawn sleigh as usual, and then we have the wagonette that we will have for the families to ride through the downtown. The Discovery Center will be open that evening, and they will be doing free vision screening for the children, again with the Mount Clemens Lions Club, as well as activities, movie, and some crafts. So please enjoy them from 5 until 9. We also will have the social district will still be running at that time in case anyone cares to have an adult beverage. We also will be starting our decorating contest for the downtown. It'll start on the 19th and run through the 27th. We'll have ballot boxes in the store. We just ask you to pick your favorite business and as far as their decorations are, and hopefully one of them will win. And you will win a chance to win $100 if you just for voting. Also want to remind everyone that we will follow up on the following Saturday with Small Business Saturday, and we will also have a social media type of contest there where the people coming into town taking a picture of themselves either in front of a store, in a store, by making a purchase, making sure they name the business, and then post it on their Facebook page and share it. And then they have an opportunity to win. We have 3 different prizes. First prize will be $300, second prize $200, and third prize $100 just for posting. That will run through December 5th. So starting on Friday the 26th and run through December 5th to do the voting.
Want to get up here with me and do this part?
You want to finish up 3 minutes?
Okay, let's take this on 3 minutes. Guys, if you have any questions, I'm sorry. It's been so long since I got up in front of you to talk, I'm nervous.
I don't.
Okay,
Anybody?
very good. It's your turn.
Good evening. Thomas Barnes, 291 Jones Street, Mount Clemens, Michigan. The parade is back on. Everybody's smile. Woo! The parade is back on. Through an overwhelming community effort. I would like to personally, I know it's a little preemptive, knock on wood and make sure that we still gonna be okay for Saturday. But the groundswell of community support has been almost overwhelming. The amount of people that came out of the woodwork to volunteer their time, volunteer their talents, to really stand in the gap and bring this thing back to life again. The old committee members who signed up to come back and stand their post to train, all of our new volunteers this year to really be a part of something special. It's something that I think that this board and this commission should commend and be very proud of. When in doubt, the city of Mount Clemens stands up and takes care of itself. We started this year with the fire, and the community came together. Here we are going out of the year on Christmas and the debacle of what may have been this parade. But it is the older crowd and the younger crowd working hand in hand together that help to save this day for everybody. So please bring your friends, bring your families, come out this Saturday for the Mount Clemens Santa Parade. Starts at 10 a.m., goes from Church Street and Main all the way down to Main and Clinton Street, and Santa Claus will be in the building.
Anyone else?
Good afternoon. General McCain, 550 Clinton Drive. I know it's not at the park. They're taking the porta johns out back. We need them back down there. People still go down there and frequent the park. Thank you. All right.
Anyone else? Okay, anybody on Zoom for us, Darren?
Yes, we'll look at you.
Okay. Do you want to give me a name of one person to start with?
Patrick?
Okay, Patrick?
Mute.
Can we have your full name and your address?
Hi, Patrick Abachuda, 138 Northbound Gratiot. We actually have been able to hear on Zoom. You guys have been on mute, so we don't know what's going on. And there's a lovely lady that's watching Wheel of Fortune. that's sort of taking over the airwaves there.
Okay, we'll try to work it out. Thank you for letting us know. Okay. Anyone else?
Looks like we might have one more. I don't see it though. Let's see. I think that's it.
All right. Okay, we will move on then to administrative responses to issues and questions. Is there any at this time?
There are none.
Okay, then we will go ahead and move to approval of minutes. I will entertain a motion.
I move to approve the regular city commission meeting minutes for November 1st and special organizational meeting for November 8th.
Support.
Okay, questions or comments? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell.
Yes.
Okay, general business. Agenda item 9A, approve placement of special assessments for delinquent utility and general billing on the tax roll. I'll entertain a motion.
I move, go ahead.
No.
I move the Mount Clemens City Commission approve the special assessment rolls 21-04, 21-05, and 21-06 for delinquent billings and placement on the city tax roll for 2021.
Support.
Mr. Johnson.
This is something that you do pretty much with every tax roll. This time we've got delinquent utility bills, delinquent general bills, which include light removal, brush removal, sidewalk, sanitation pickup, and weed cutting. And then also we have some delinquent general bill types for rental registration fees and vacant registration fees.
Okay.
I do have a question. If we place it on the tax roll, then does it come off the report for blight? I mean, does it update that report? Does it?
It should.
Because so many of these are so old on that report, it seems like they would have already been assessed at this point, and so therefore they're not a current issue, unless there's something else to be done, obviously, but,
We'll make a note to check with Brian on that one. But
thank you.
it certainly should, because once it's been moved to the tax roll, as far as the other side is concerned, we should consider it paid.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier.
Yes,
Okay. Agenda item 9B, select city flag. I'll entertain a motion. Although this is going to be a difficult one because how would you like us?
You might want to have some discussion before you actually make a specific motion.
I mean, okay. Normally,
I know.
all right. Well, whoops, sorry about that. We'll go ahead and do that.
Normally, you're very good about following Robert's Rules of Order.
Yes.
And Robert's Rules does call for making the motion first.
Right, okay. Well, we will go ahead and, does anyone have a favorite of the city flag already that they would like to offer up?
7. 8. All of them? Say no, 7.
I like 7.
I do too.
Oh, yours is short lighter than that.
7 is,
I didn't care for any of them.
What don't you like?
I thought they looked cheap.
oh,
They didn't really look dignified. I just thought they were kind of bland.
okay.
Do you have any suggestions? Like wording?
I kind of like the one that's back there.
I don't even know what that one looks like.
But you don't even know which one is back there.
I know it's back there. I carried it. It's just the color. I mean, it's just bland, and I don't think it looks classy. I think it looks cheap.
Okay,
I think it needs to be reworked. That's my opinion.
okay.
You got something?
The only thing I would like, it needs to have Mount Clemens on there somewhere. I realize you tried to keep it simple and all that, but I think the city name should have been on there. However you did that, it's up to the PR people, but I think it should have had Mount Clemens on it. That's my own opinion.
The direction they were provided in the RFP was that they would have followed the rules for flag design, and putting text is a big no-no.
Well, you know, don't get me wrong. I like this, okay? But I think that you have a flag with just the, you know,
Yeah, the icon?
the icon on. It doesn't identify anything. Is it the icon from the rec bowl or what? You know, somewhere along the line, I think it should have had Mount Clemens on it.
Yeah, okay.
But that's my own opinion.
Did we
Okay.
have some samples that had Mount Clemens on it, or none of them?
Mm-mm.
No.
None of them have had words. It's kind of like a no-no in the whole flag design world.
But because that's the direction they were provided.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they would.
followed.
Commissioner Menzer?
I don't like any of them. I don't like the color. I don't like that teal. It looks dreary, and I'm not fond of any of them.
Well, I will say that the colors provided obviously are the colors that we as a commission adopted with the branding package. So I'll say that. And also the icon, we adopted that as a commission. And so, of course, they would use it. And there are plenty of flags that don't have any words on them, so I don't know. But I can understand the apprehension on that part.
Until people become familiar with it.
Sure.
And familiar with the logo, it won't mean the same thing. There was the one logo with the name on it. I agree with you, nobody can read it if it's flying umpteen feet in the air, but,
Or if it's hanging.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
And
I definitely,
it's not even the
This
logo.
isn't- This isn't even the previous logo, this is
No.
like 2 or 3 logos ago.
All right, so would anyone like to make a motion or?
I can,
What, 7 or 8?
7.
I like them both. It's not like it's.
Go back to-
The lighter blue.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
It's 7.
So I will make a motion. Make it knock down here. If I
Right
can
there.
find it. I move option number 7 be chosen as the new City of Mount Clemens flag.
Support.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none. Roll call, please.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menser,
No.
Voorhees,
No.
Campbell,
No.
Fournier.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion dies since it ties, and we will hand it back to you, I guess, and you've heard the comments. We can bring it back to the commission when we have a full commission.
I mean, perhaps we can ask them to do one with the logo that has isn't there one logo that has Mount Clemens?
The seal.
The seal
Pardon?
has, yeah, the seal has the
Yeah.
name. Mhm.
I mean, maybe we could just see what that looks like. And
Sure.
I mean, but would that really satisfy? I think we need more feedback, suggested in colors. I mean, we already selected the color for the letterhead, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
hard to go and change the color.
I,
I don't think we can at this point.
yeah, I mean, I can't, to me, it seems really counterintuitive or counterproductive to now say, oh, well, we voted on this and we adopted this branding package, but, oh, now we don't like the color, and now we don't like this, and now, so, I mean, I'm all for the wording, and I understand what people are saying on that, but I think.
Mayor Crop, I
Yeah.
love this. I will tell you, I like the color, I
Yeah.
like everything. But I just think that somewhere along the line. it
I
needs-
totally understand your comment.
Okay.
Totally understand your
All right,
comment.
just so we know where we're.
The other ones
All right.
I don't
I
understand,
mean,
but
if
that's
this
fine.
was a little more traditionally designed, I mean, it's just got a line that goes like this. I mean, if it had, I mean, the colors are okay, but if it was more traditionally designed with the name on it, like in the middle, kind of like along the lines of that, just more traditional, I just think that looks,
My understanding with the line was it's the water for the
Water.
river.
And it also, that we have
Yeah,
waves,
yeah.
we have waves within the logo. I mean, that's the whole,
I like it more traditional, that's my opinion.
Well, the only way to make it more traditional then is really to use the logo that we selected for the seal,
looks like it
right?
was adopted in 1972, which, oh, I think it probably was.
No, the seal for this one, the new one.
Yeah, yeah. I
And
mean,
I
we,
can't find the
Colors.
picture.
Use those colors, design it like that, and put the new logo in the middle of it, that way.
the name,
Well,
the
logo
current
that's
logo, this
I do
part?
like
The new branding logo.
The seal. Yeah.
This one or the seal?
No, the seal. That, I think. will
This
look
is the
good.
logo.
New
This,
seal.
the seal is this, instead of saying Vintage Vibe,
Yeah.
Vibrant Vision, it says City of Mount Clemens.
Because you could still have number 7 and still have that. I don't like just the circle in the middle of that.
Well, I think that Mr. Johnson can take those comments back to the drawing board with the design team, and they can help us out with some visuals. We'll move on to Agenda 9C, discuss use of ARPA funds.
There's no motion.
I'm waiting. I'll entertain a motion to just open discussions, or
There's no motion.
we can, I can suggest maybe having a motion to open discussion.
Motion to open discussion to discuss use of ARPA funds.
Support.
Thank you. Mr. Johnson, do you want to go ahead and start off?
Okay. This was originally scheduled to be a separate work session. We moved it into this meeting. American Rescue Plan was signed into law back in March on the 11th. Provided in total $350 billion in additional funding for state and local governments. The state portion is about $195 billion of that, with the local portion about $130 billion divided between cities and counties. Localities receive their monies in 2 separate payments, and we actually received our first one already. It's distributed on a formula basis for cities that qualify as block grant entitlement communities. They're getting a much higher amount of money using the block grant formula. We're not an entitlement community under block grant, so we're getting it under a per capita allocation that was distributed to the rest. So that's why if you see amounts from some of the other cities, particularly some of the larger cities, that the amounts they're getting seems way out of proportion to what we're getting. We are receiving not quite $1.7 million. We've already received $845,879. This money can be used for the following purposes. First is revenue replacement for the provision of government services to the extent of the reduction in revenue due to the COVID-19 public health emergency. We had originally intended to use part of our money, a significant part of our money that way, to replace revenue lost in the automobile parking system fund. But when they actually came out with the rules for the program, They have a formula to decide whether you lost enough revenue for that to be eligible. And they decided it has to be done on an entity-wide basis. We can't analyze one fund. And if we analyze Mount Clemens entity-wide, our losses were not great enough to qualify for using the revenue replacement. So we won't be able to send money into the parking system fund. That also means that eventually we're going to have to do a budget adjustment to make up for the money that we planned on getting from ARPA into the parking system fund. It can also be spent on COVID-19 expenditures or negative economic impacts of COVID-19, including assistance to small businesses, households, hard-hit industries, and economic recovery. It can be used for premium pay for essential workers. It can be used for investments in water, sewer, and broadband infrastructure. Water, sewer, and broadband are the only eligible capital expenditures. You can't spend it on streets. You can't spend it on equipment unless it relates to those three purposes. There are some specific prohibitions. Funds allocated to states cannot be used to directly or indirectly offset tax reductions or delay a tax increase. And funds cannot be deposited into any pension fund. And finally, funding must be spent by the end of calendar year 2024. And that may be significant for us with regard to at least one possible project. So we're scheduled to receive $1,691,758 in two payments. And the first was received on October 19th, $845,879. We were originally told the second payment would arrive approximately 1 year after the first, but that's back when we were originally told that the first payment was going to come in, it was March or April. It didn't come till October. So I don't know if it's going to be October for the second payment or if it might be earlier. We're recommending that most of our ARPA funds be used for water and or sewer capital projects. And I included a spreadsheet representing some of the major capital needs. The items on the spreadsheet were all over $150,000. We have a lot of other items that are smaller than that, and that's the reason there is no totals, because a lot of things aren't on the list. I'm not expecting, nor do we need the commission to actually pick specific projects tonight, but I would like to get some general direction as to which approach you want to use or where you want to go. If you're in agreement, we're moving most of it into water and sewer, and if you want to put some elsewhere, where you would want that to go. Thank you.
I, for one, am absolutely in agreement that we should use it for water. Water and sewer make total sense to me. There's a lot going on that we need to do there. The only question I would have is the items that you've put here, we haven't had a discussion about where we're going with the whole water plan.
That's correct.
And so until we do, it's kind of hard to say, let's do, obviously it's not 42 million, so it's going to be something quite a bit less for the water plant. But I would defer to you and to Mr. Wood that where's the greatest need? We have to have that discussion about which of these, we all know the infrastructure is, we've got to spend some money there. We know it. Where is the greatest need? And it would be difficult for me to pick one of those.
Can we use this to start replacing the lead lines
Yes,
to homes?
I believe so.
So the one thing that I would like to see, if we recall, back when this pandemic started, we told our water and sewer and DPS employees that they were so essential that we were going to exempt them from the Family Leave Act. And commission then turned around and rescinded that and overrode it. We have given, as you note in here, we have given $1,000 to some of our employees. We gave it to the fire department and we gave it to Dial-A-Ride, but we did not give it to our water, sewer, or DPS employees. And in my opinion, the water plant and the sewer plant are the most essential things that we have. The fire department can't operate without water. So what I would like to see is that we make these employees whole by matching what we've given to the other employees. I checked today, and we have approximately 25 employees spread between water, sewer, and DPS. That would total $25,000. I would like to see us consider seriously extending that essential pay to workers that we told were essential. And then I would like to see the money invested in either starting to abate some of those lead lines to homes, but also, regardless of a discussion on the water plant and what we're going to do in the future, that will be months, if not years from now. And I think that some of these needs here should be addressed right away. And I see that, there is no priority list, but as you said earlier, Commissioner Fournier, we would trust, Mr. Wood and Mr. Bertrand to make some choices. But I think that we invest in the health and safety of our water and sewer plants and in our employees. And I don't think $25,000 is too much to give to our employees who stood by us through this whole thing.
So we're in agreement that we got to look at the water and sewer plant. I would like to come back to this. I don't want to get bogged down in a discussion of, I totally admire all of our employees for sticking it out, but I also admire the people in this building as well. And they were all there when we needed them just as much. And so it makes no sense to me to isolate out another group. I just don't think it's fair to everyone. But going back to the actual capital replacement here, capital expenditures, we do need some prioritization of this list. I mean, there's so much here, and which is just it's a symbol of how much we need to do, which is what scares me every time I look at a budget. But we do need to have some idea of prioritization. I don't know that we have to paint and repair the Madison water towers as important as replacing the lead service lines. We have also discussed that replacing those lead service lines, we're expecting to have some, we have talked before that there might be government funding for that. We need some more information about some of these items to be able to make a
Educated decision?
Thank you.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I fully agree that you do. But all I'm really looking for is if the commission wants to decide that, yes, water and sewer is where you want to spend most of the money. If you want to spend part of it elsewhere, where that would be.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I agree that with the administration that water and lines get the majority of the money because, as they used to say, water is more valuable than gold. So I'm in full agreement with regards to what needs to be done. We don't know anything about it. Let the administration decide what they want to use it on and move forward with it. But I agree that we spend most of it on the water.
I too agree that it should be spent in the water area, either the treatment plant or the water plant, one or the other. But, we have a lot of items that need to be addressed. The lead lines especially, I mean, this affects people's health and children's health. So that would be my take.
Yes, I'm in agreement as well with the water and sewage. Just trying to figure out the most important thing on this list of what to target first.
Mr. Wood, have you heard any more? I remember you talking about those lead lines. Is there any talk of what, any programs or?
I just heard, tonight, I don't know where it's at, but I just heard tonight that there was some federal monies that was released. So we should be seeing something soon for that.
Yes.
Also, in tonight's news, one of the items that the president indicated would be covered in the second piece of legislation was lead line replacement. But it's problematical whether that's going to be passed or not.
Of course.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath.
I mean, I'd like to see kind of us focus on something that's not, I mean, I feel like lead service lines are extremely important, don't get me wrong, but I think we're all municipalities are in that same boat in terms of this mandate of replacing them, and the state government and federal government is under some pretty serious pressure to alleviate some of that alleviate some of that burden. So I'd hate to see us take this one-time money and use it on something that then we could have been reimbursed by the government. I mean, I'm not saying that they'll pay the whole thing, but I just would hate to see that kind of happen. I think when I look at this list, I think, you know, the $42 million of a water plant is our first, like, obviously we need to make that kind of decision. Is that an investment we're looking at? Because if it's not an investment we're looking at, it also takes out several of these line items on this list. And I mean, we would still have a sewer plant, obviously, to look at. But, so I mean, I think there are definitely a lot of discussions. I appreciate this information, this like baseline information. And it's good that we're having some open discussions about, you know, to start this conversation, but we definitely need to keep furthering it. And, you know, I think we have to, it was good to start somewhere, in other words, but.
We also have the distribution system regardless of what happens with the plant.
Right, of course, yeah. So, does anyone have any like further comments? We gave some.
What would be the next steps then? If we give you this list back and you're do some prioritization or?
Well, if you give me direction that you want to spend most of it on water and sewer, and I would like to know specifically if it's not going to be all of it, how much you want to put elsewhere. We can come back and give you a specific project, and we can probably do that within a month or two.
I think I need more information on this water plant issue first. Like, I mean, before I can say, I want this much to this and this much to this. I mean, because this water plant issue, like I said, I mean.
That what he's looking for is if we're going to do anything besides this list.
Like $25,000 to the employee kind of thing, is what you're saying?
Or any other of the other options too, if you want to spend any of it on any of the other things.
Well, regardless, as you just said, regardless of what we do with the water plant, and it looks to me like it's also 42,000 plus the 5,000 to close and remove.
Millions.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, million, and then the 5 million to connect. So now we're talking 52 million. So that's just, you know. So I think what we have to look at is the service lines. And pretty much most of those are on the next page, replace water mains. If we're going to maintain our distribution, even if we get water from Great Lakes, then it makes sense to replace the water mains first.
Correct.
The only other caveat, I guess, would be this line that says others are using ARPA funds for projects that improve their business districts. So, I mean, you know, the DDA right now is looking at this project for Cherry Street Mall. We know we have some pretty serious drainage issues that are going on there that are flooding some of the buildings around. I mean, is that something that, you know, a project like that could cost $250,000 or, you know, significantly under 1.69, you know, is that something that we then can say we did this project plus replace this many? I mean, is that something that could be used towards that? It would improve our business district, especially if we have buildings that are flooding because of drainage issues.
Is that included in any of this? Wouldn't that be included in some of this where to replace the, none of these ideas include anything for the drainage system in the city, in downtown? Or is that separate?
Not that project.
Not that, because the issue there is really with the pavement. It's not with the pipes.
I mean, the pipes need to be addressed when we open
Exactly,
it all up.
so if we
The
pull for
problem is the
pavement,
pavement's higher in the middle and water is draining toward the buildings instead of away from them.
The problem is also that it's all concrete.
so can we even use it for that? If it's a pavement
I
problem?
think we can use it under the benefit to business. Let's go back to this. We can't do it under just the straight capital. But it said it can be used, including assistance to small business, households, and hard-hit industries and economic recovery. What we would do is when we have a specific project in mind, we would research that project and make sure that it's going to qualify.
It's so hard to prioritize any of this. It's so symbolic of what we've got, what we're facing, really.
I mean, it would be nice to be able to use it on a project that, I mean, it's almost more tangible than you know, there's needs everywhere, so it's
Yeah.
tough. But I mean, it would be nice to say we're using it in a multifaceted way.
Which I agree with, as long as there's nothing on this list that
Sure.
is
Trumps it.
so essential that we've got to get it done, or it's
Right.
going to disrupt water or sewer or.
Completely.
Well, my thing is when you look at the second page and it's talking about all the water mains, those are all in our residential areas. And I would prefer that we spend this money on our residents, the ones who are carrying the tax burden for this city. I'd prefer to see that.
But also isn't the water plant providing water to the citizens, and that's also is.
Sure, absolutely.
And that is a problem, these water mains.
Everywhere.
We have so many problems.
Yes.
Because maybe if we repaired some of these water mains, some of the homes on the east side won't get flooded. I think all of us can remember one of the residents coming here repeatedly about her basement flooding every time it rained. So my preference is if there's no immediate need for a screen or, something like that, an influent pump, that we concentrate on where it's going to do the most benefit for our neighborhoods and our residents and our employees.
Okay, does anyone else have any more thoughts or concern with this?
You know, it needs to go to water.
Do you want us to research any of the alternative projects that have been discussed?
Oh, yeah, other than Cherry Street Mall, I'm fine if you want to include that. Again, it's, how bad is it compared to the water mains, compared to the sewer plant repairs? It's just not something I can judge one way or the other. I do know there's a few places in the neighborhoods where they seem to continually have issues, and they're digging up the streets every time we turn around. But I think that, so again, the severity of these issues is what we're missing here to understand what to do next.
Yeah, I mean, no, if that's gonna be 85% of the money and we put, it's like,
Yes.
I don't know how I can give you more direction than what we have without having like numbers and more than this information. Does anyone else feel that they can?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few of these things like replacing, well, I don't know, again, if the windows are all not good. Or painting the water tower, or, I don't think those are as critical as some of these other things. But just looking at this list, it's just mind-boggling that,
Painting the water tower is not just aesthetics, because it's painting the inside of the water tower is actually the more critical component to it. And that has to be done every few years.
it's $1 million to paint the inside.
I think it's both, actually, for the million.
But see, like, how would we know that? Like, I wouldn't know that. Like, how would I know that from this list?
Like, we need a presentation on this list to go into more
Like,
detail.
how would I know that we paint the inside? It doesn't say that. I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm not a water tower expert.
That's why I said prioritize,
But
which
again,
is
we're
the most
not
important.
asking you to pick a specific project right now.
Right, but I'm still like, but you are kind of saying like, how much would you give to each pot?
No, I'm more interested in pots that are outside of water and sewer. If you want to,
But there are no suggestions of that either, and that would have been helpful.
I am
Like, these
for
are,
water and sewer.
these are the roads we have fixed, or these are this, that we have
Are you
this.
saying that we have extra money
No.
outside of water and sewer, and you're looking for extra projects, or no?
no,
No.
we've got, the total
Okay,
amount is
that's
the
fine.
total
He
amount.
wants to know if we want to spend some of this money on other projects outside of this list.
Do you want to spend it all on water and sewer, or do you want to spend part of it elsewhere?
Well, first we need to look at how bad the water and sewer is, so we
Pretty
can go
bad.
from there.
I mean, this is, basically, it's a drop in the bucket as far as water and sewer is concerned.
No pun intended.
Again, though.
And actually, the pun was intended.
How critical or how, I know the problem at Cherry Street Mall. I know many people have tried to have a business in some of the inner part of the mall and get flooded out every time. It's not good. But at the same time, I do agree with Commissioner Mentor that the residents deserve some payback here.
So for $1 million, you can fix 4 of these water mains. A little over $1 million. How many residents is that gonna impact versus how many businesses the Cherry Street Mall will impact?
Again, maybe if you could come back with some prioritization and most critical projects that you believe we should look at, rather than everything. There's got to be some prioritization.
Is Lenny on this call? Mr. Bertrand on this call?
No, we're not voting
I
tonight, so I
don't
mean, I don't
believe so,
think.
because he's up north hunting.
Okay. That's right, it's deer hunting season.
So, I mean, we aren't obviously making any like major decisions. Is this enough information, or is this, I mean, if not, what else specifically would you want?
Right?
Yes, I think so.
What I've got so far is that I will try to do some research on Cherry Street Mall and figure out what that might cost and whether it would be eligible. But other than that, I'm looking to put it all into water and sewer. And then we've also got the 25,000 suggestion that we can talk about.
Right. I think that covers it, and I think the idea is the commission would like a prioritized water and sewer breakdown, so that we can, or starting to have a discussion of, I don't know if it's a further feasibility study on the water plant and what that means, the water filtration plant,
Yeah,
you know, all of those things, so.
we have to, I mean, when the second item on here is, into the water is connect to the GLWA, which is 5 million alone.
Right.
We've got to figure out what we're doing there.
Yeah.
Well, I think you need to reach out to some other communities that are on the Great Lakes Water Authority pipeline. Such communities like Shelby in Washington that built water reservoirs, water towers to hold water, to specifically hold down the prices so that they could store water to hold the price down. And second, that some of these communities are told that when they can and cannot water their lawns. So I think that reaching out to some of the other communities and talking to them and what they've experienced negatively and positively with the Great Lakes Water Authority would make sense.
And I also think that a decision of this factor, of this magnitude, thank you, would be I would want to, after we get information and start looking at what our options are, including information from other people on the Great Lakes water system. But I think we would have to then have town halls to get resident input. I mean, this is a very significant and serious, but we also have to look at what cost and how much that's going to raise our water bills, and all of those things. I think it's a huge issue.
We have a report that we have engineering estimates on building a new water plant. What we don't have right now is what it would actually cost us to be able to connect to GLWA. Because it's not just a matter of opening a valve, even though we are connected. We'll have to put in new meter pits, master meters, pressure reducing valves.
That's all of that is, I get what you're saying, but I think the whole point is, this is a much larger conversation, and
Yes.
we don't have that here. So before somebody runs with it on the newspaper, I think we need to get, all of our ducks in a row, and that was.
They pun purposefully?
Yes. Yes,
the other-
so I'm guessing, I would like to suggest to administration that conversation begin. And I hope that we would not base things on only that fish spec that is pretty outdated now. I think construction costs have gone seriously up in the last 2 years. So I would think that we would need to start talking a little bit more seriously on what that looks like, so.
Well, this says here, the water pit, to replace the meter pit at Selfridge is 600,000. But then takes you to another thing that has to be considered here, is that we sell water to Clinton, Harrison, and Selfridge. And we might want to have some kind of, include them in some kind of a discussion.
Again, all of these factors are a major discussion and a major thing that would have to be addressed. So, which we cannot do tonight because we don't have that kind of information. So, again, I will give a directive to the administration to say, these are things that we should start talking about.
I agree.
Would anyone else like to add to that?
No, I agree.
Okay, thank you.
Next.
The funnel, it needs to come
Yes,
down.
yes, because at this point, we're at
Yeah, we're way out here.
Yeah.
We need to be down here
yeah.
somewhere.
So,
We're drinking from the fire hose here. Ken.
right, exactly. Anyone else? Everybody good? We probably need a motion to, no, we don't. All right, then we will end this discussion. We'll go ahead and move on as soon as my computer loads the agenda. All right, there we go. Agenda 9D, purchases and payments of invoices.
Motion to approve purchases and payment of invoices as presented.
Or,
Okay. Anyone, questions, comments? Commissioner Mentor? All right. Roll call, please.
Menzer,
Yes.
Voorhees.
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier,
yes,
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I do have one question. Has the bid from our last meeting, the 320,000 for the water plant, has that contract been examined by the city attorney and been approved?
Well, it was examined, it was redrafted, it was sent to The contractor, I've been in touch with their legal staff. They are reviewing what I've prepared, and I'm waiting for their response.
Thank you.
Okay, agenda item 10, consent.
Move to approve consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Voorhees,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Fournier,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Crop,
Yes.
Menzer.
Yes.
City managers report, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Start with Edison Crossing. We had a pre-construction meeting with their project managers on November 9th. We expect to see the project get underway this fall. What you'll see happening first is, like with most projects, the infrastructure. In fact, when I say you'll see it, you might not actually see it. But the first things they're going to be building is the retaining wall and doing the underground utility work. And after that, they'll be preparing for their foundations. Probably won't see anything above ground before spring. Savvy Sliders. Community Development has received a site plan for a Savvy Sliders to be located at 140 North Main. This is the old Hayloft location. This company has 15 Michigan locations, including 1 in Fraser and 3 in Shelby Township. It's basically a Michigan company. They have 1 Ohio location right now. They seem to be expanding fairly quickly. Sidewalk program is underway. It's started in District 6. Saw cutting and removal work was going on last week. In the area near Carnes, they were actually looked like they were doing some pouring already today. We expect the construction should be done by the end of November. Restoration work will not occur until spring. That means the grass planting and marijuana. VBJG has completed all of the city requirements necessary to obtain a medical marijuana license. Actually, in their case, multiple medical marijuana licenses from the state of Michigan. This included obtaining site plan approval, obtaining building and trade permits, passing all inspections, and obtaining a certificate of occupancy, and providing an updated insurance certificate to the city clerk. She has filed a form attesting that these things have been completed for the state, and it's in the state's hands right now. I don't know how long it's going to take them, but this one kind of hit us by surprise because we thought the other one was far ahead of this one in terms of their construction, but that's not the case.
I have a question. This is the facility on Groesbeck, correct?
No.
No,
Gibraltar.
this is Gibraltar.
This is Gibraltar.
This is Gibraltar.
Okay.
The facility on Groesbeck is the one that's JARS that we thought was going to be far ahead of this one.
I thought, yeah, that's what I thought.
So you mentioned multiple licenses. Are we talking dispense, grow, and manufacture?
These are the medical marijuana licenses only. And they were given conditional permits for a grow license, which is the extended grow license. I think they were going through. Yeah, no, it's the number you can stack, and I think they were going to stack 3 or 4. They were also given a dispensary permit, and they were given a,
Manufacture.
no, the
Processing.
processing. So they were given conditional approval for 3 different permits.
I believe that their problem was getting power from Detroit Edison. Did they get that?
I have no idea. I have no idea. They had some other problems too, so, and I don't intend to get involved in their problems. They apparently have overcome or at least decided to proceed with the power situation, so.
Sometimes miracles happen, apparently.
All
And,
it takes is money.
Mr. Johnson, continue.
Okay, not on here, but I think everybody is aware that the federal infrastructure bill was signed today. I have no information at all as to exactly what that's going to mean in terms of what's going to come down to the local level, but I expect that something will. Upcoming special events, we've got Christmas open house on the 19th. Santa Parade is still on the schedule for November 20th. Small Business Saturday, November 27th. Pop's second annual light parade on December 18th. Kids New Year's at the Discovery Center of Macomb on December 31st from 4 to 9. The Kids Fireworks Show and Ball Drop at 9 p.m. on New Year's Eve. I don't even have the date there. And the New Year's Eve Gala, December 31st on Main Street at Market, starting at 10 o'clock, fireworks at midnight. COVID, we've had shown a slight dip in new infections a week or so ago, but now they're rising again. Macomb counties still remain higher than the surrounding counties. Big news on the vaccination front was the approval of the Pfizer vaccine for children as young as 5 years old. The Macomb County Health Department responded immediately and began offering the lower dose vaccine for younger children. I was in getting my booster shot the day after the approval for children was given, and there was already a section there with children getting their shots. So they moved into that really quickly. And then we've got what we have currently scheduled in future agendas.
Okay. Does anyone else have any further questions for Mr. Johnson? Okay, hearing none, we will go ahead and move on to the next section of the meeting, which is the second opportunity for the public to address the commission. If you so choose, you can come up to the microphone, give us your your full name, your address, and abide by our 2-minute rule. We'll start with people who are in person. Anyone who would like to speak?
Hello again. Thomas Barnes, 291 Jones. As a very active and concerned citizen of the city, one thing I just wanted to bring to the attention of the commission is that we keep having the same conversations, y'all. Week after week, month after month, year after year, same conversations. $42 million to improve the water plan. Where's the decisive decision making amongst this body to start really pulling the trigger on some of these things? There's a marijuana conversation, it gets kicked down the hill 8 months. Then it comes back up again. We have a conversation about blight and about city staffing as it relates to blight. Gets kicked down the hill 6 months, then the same thing comes up again. Where is the decisive trigger pulling from the people here who sit in power to govern the city to make the decisions to make the lives for the residents better in the city of Mount Clemens? A lot of this waterfront conversation that we've been having for years, this water and sewer conversation that continues to belabor on. I mean, there's so many things. It's like, when do we get to the point where somebody comes up with a cohesive plan and says, we're moving forward here? Grand Street has looked like Grand Street since I was a child. We have no decision about bonding the city to come up with the funds to be able to correct these problems. And it's like, let's just continue to let it snowball and hopefully it doesn't blow up. And if it blows up, then we'll be reactive and go get after it and fix it. Where is the plan? I hope that this is a conversation that is discussed in strategic planning in January. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll move to Zoom. No one on Zoom. Okay. We will go ahead and move on to commissioner comments. Commissioner Campbell.
I mean, what Mr. Barnes just said about everything, one of the biggest things is, where's the money coming from? We've talked about it, yes, and it keep moving down. They wanted to repair Grand at one time, but none of the people that live there wanted to pay for it. So if nobody wants to pay for it, where does the money come from? Same thing with a water plant. That'd be great, we've talked about it, but where's the money coming from? Who wants to pay for it? So, and I totally agree with him. We talk about it, but there's no money, so I don't know what else we can do. I agree with Commissioner Fournier regarding the prioritized list with regards to the ARPA funds and putting it toward the water and sewer treatment of the city so that it can best affect and implement and be positive for the residents that will see an immediate direction from that. Other than that, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Campbell. Commissioner Hammond.
I'm excited to see movement at Gibraltar. I think residents in the community have been asking questions about Gibraltar and seeing it move forward. I'm excited to see that. I want to congratulate Mayor Kropp on your election, along with Commissioner Fournier, Commissioner Mintzer, and Commissioner Dempsey. And thank you to the community for saving the Santa Parade, along with Thomas Barnes and Mike from Pop's Sweets and Treats, along with the Downtown Development Authority and everyone that helped out with saving the parade. And next week, Thanksgiving. I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving.
Excellent. Thank you. Commissioner Fournier.
Thank you. I want to address your comment as well, because I agree with you. Things do get kicked down. The can has been kicked down the road way too long on a lot of these projects. And I totally agree that we have to get busy and figure out to the best of our ability. But Commissioner Campbell is totally correct as well. There's no one that's looking to pay any more in property taxes, and I would fight that to the ever-living death of me. But there's got to be a way to move some of this stuff forward. I thought that when we started working on this list, it was a start, and we have gotten, finally we can't get a list with prioritization or a good discussion going on any one of these projects, and all of them are vital to every citizen that lives here and works here. So I want to see I agree, we need some oomph. We need to get excited. We need to, instead of going, oh, we'll never find a way, we don't have any money, we have to find a way to figure this out until. And I'll go back to the ice arena, because we ended up having to bond for that, but it was an 11th hour decision. It wasn't brought up in advance. We didn't have any time. It was like a do or die. You had no choice. And that's what's getting me about this whole list is I want to have a choice. I want to have an opportunity to say, this is where we're going to go. So, and I haven't got the background to pick out what project that is. So we have to have the people in the city whose jobs these are, who run these facilities, to help us get there. And it is the Thanksgiving season, so with that, I just want to say that I am very grateful. I am very grateful to live in this city. I love the city. I'm very grateful for its residents and all their support, and for people who step up, like Tommy, and save that parade. I am very, very grateful for all of you. It is, and I'm grateful for this team here that we have. All of us have different ideas for sure, but we can come together and get something done if we choose to do so. And I'm hoping that at the next strategic planning meeting, we see a lot of progress. So thank you to everyone. May you have a blessed Thanksgiving holiday. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Menzer.
So partially in response, Mr. Barnes, some of it is commission voting. We talked about the waterfront incessantly. I have brought that up since 2013 when I started on this commission. In 2017, I pushed hard for an RFP for a feasibility study for the waterfront. Members of this commission currently voted that study down. It was $13,000. That feasibility study would have told us what is the best use of this property? Where can we get the most tax value from that property? What is the overall value if we sold the property for development? But we turned that down. So a lot of the dysfunction, shall we say, or inability to move project forward is you have 7 different opinions here and we don't all agree on the same thing at the same time. And that is one of the, I think, the biggest issues. I wanted to point out too, the ice arena, we are not paying the bonds for the ice arena. The ice arena is. The city got the bonds, but the ice arena is paying them. So, I hope you guys all celebrated Veterans Day. We had a Mount Clemens native, a Mr. Ray Smith, who just received his Purple Heart for injuries he sustained in 1969. Mr. Smith was a Navy SEAL in the Navy Special Warfare Department. And he received his Purple Heart at the Naval Amphibious Base Coronado in San Diego. So I would like to thank Mr. Smith for his service to our country and for representing the city of Mount Clemens so beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Voorhees.
Thank you, Mayor Kropp. I'm going to take a little lighter view of what's going on, but I wish to express my sincerest thanks to Mitch Hotz and the Macomb Daily for the very favorable coverage on the city of Mount Clemens that was in the paper today. Great things are happening and taking place in this city. And I think that's the things that we need to look at. When, you know, some of these buildings that are downtown that are vacant on purpose. And when I say that, it's the owners of those buildings. I'm looking at the Muse building, almost 25 years that building has been vacant. Am I right?
Macomb Daily,
Yeah.
30-some.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you know, we need to look at it in a positive standpoint. There are great things taking place in our city. With that, once a Clemite, always a Clemite.
Thank you. I would like to thank Young Masters Tree Trimming Service for the new Christmas tree that was delivered last week, Friday. And they did a great job at going and retrieving a fresh cut Christmas tree from a very nice family that donated it up in Columbus, Michigan. Gently brought it down on a flatbed trailer and placed it in downtown. I'm hoping that all of our residents will come down at the Christmas open house on Friday, this Friday, the 19th, and at 6 p.m. and see the tree be lit up along with Macomb Place, all of downtown lights, but including the DDA made a significant investment in all new lighting for Macomb Place, and we had an additional donation who I believe would like to remain anonymous. Am I right? Always. Although I do believe his name rhymes with Reven. So if you know him, say thank you. But he is he also paid for all of the lighting between Macomb Place between Main Street and Walnut. So we have a really great display for everyone. And I'd like to thank the streets department, who did a great job at putting all of the other decorations up in time for our tree lighting. And so they help make our Christmas season jolly as well. So I'd like to thank them. And the parade, wow, so much up and down emotional, having to cancel the parade and then start the parade back up was a lot. But we're so thankful to the people that have stepped up, including, of course, Mr. Barnes and Mr. Karpinski, who are, and all the volunteers who are helping make this happen. We really appreciate all of the time that you're giving to the city. And I will have coffee talk tomorrow morning at 9:30, so Tuesday, September 16th, 9:30 a.m. at John's Family Grill. And then Thursday, November 18th at 6:30 p.m. At Black Cat Coffee, which, by the way, opened today. And so we want to congratulate another new business coming to Mount Clemens. We're really excited that our storefronts are filling up, and there's a lot of great things happening downtown. And we are really excited to see things happening. So I anticipate some future announcements within the next few weeks, so which is what Mitch reported today. But so stay tuned. We're going to have some exciting things. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move we adjourn.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thanks, everyone. Have a great night.